Okay, sorry about that. Okay, what? All right, here we are. My eyes all bloodshot. I ain't had much sleep. I've been working all day, and then I come home, and I need to work again at night. No, I want to work at night because I love this. I love talking about the Lions. I love hanging out, and shoot. Well, let's get started. The main topic, and it's been over the air quite a bit. Wayne T.J. Hawkinson um, injuries has had in the past. When he knows out was him being on his last year of his rookie deal with the option. Uh, is he actually worth what they'll have to pay him? Kind of like around 60 million um, with all the incentives and stuff that could have needed to be added to him. Now, one of the things it's very hard to do if is if he's a key player, and which he is in his offense, you got to pay the man. Yeah, there's been injuries, but there's been production, and the production has outweighed the injuries. You, you cannot just go ahead and find a tight end like him all the time in the draft because uh, they're rare. I mean, look at how hard the Lions have had to find a tight end. The one that we drafted before him really did not work out. So just take a look at that. And when you lose players, you also got to replace those players. So which means that we would need to go instead of picking another piece that we can fill up in the draft. Not like a lineman, a linebacker, or something like that. We would need to replace him in the draft or pay somebody else not his, who's probably older than him, that might be more banged up than him. No, I say we got to pay the man. We need to get this man signed for a long-term deal. Keep him on Detroit Lions. He produces. He had produced for us year after year, and in his rookie season. I mean, he was so pumped and excited to play that he went ahead and tried to flip over the defenders to go ahead and get in the touchdown and win. Unfortunately, he hurt his back, and so he was out for a couple games after that. But that just shows what type of player he is. Yes, he learned. No, he's not going to do that again. He's not a rookie anymore. But he's the type of player that produces. I mean, yeah, we want to see more yards after the catch. We want to see that. We want to see more breakaway yards. But he was, before he got injured last year, him and Jared Goff was really working great together. So why would you want to not have him secured for a long-term deal? Now, granted, we are still having salary cap issues and stuff like that, but you can go ahead and expand that contract out. You can make it incentive based, which I think that every contract should be made incentive based because shoot, look at the darn if you have no incentive, then you're not going to push as well to get the job done. But that can also backfire because if you go ahead and you give somebody total guaranteed money and you just show them that they're worth that much to your team, your franchise, then hey, they might go ahead. It's a two-way street. They could be the type of person that would just say, "Oh, I got my money," and not try as hard because you don't have those incentives to um, to make you play better because it's all locked up. I personally think that all contracts should be at least somewhat incentive based. Of course, I'm not the one being paid, so who knows? But if you look at the way YouTube pays, and no, I'm not making money yet, but if you look at the way YouTube pays, it's all that's all kind of incentives with how you structure your show, how the views you get, the runtime, and all that other stuff. Basically the subscribers and stuff like that too. So the more you want to give, the more people you want to get, the more incentive you have is going to be the harder you're going to try to do things. And that's why I believe all contracts should be at least somewhat incentive based, but they also should be attainable too, where you can go ahead and do that. Uh, Look how long, you know, since Barry Sanders retired, we still ain't gotten that great number one back. I mean, yeah, DeAndre Swift, he's shows sparks, but he's not. I mean, there's been the injuries. There's been, it's time for him to go ahead and produce. And why I brought that up with contracts and stuff like that, especially with TJ's contract, just to show you when you lose a key piece of your uh, production offense, it's not always that easy to go ahead and replace them. That's one thing that when Jim was around, we used to talk about all the time. Was that, hey, without let me turn on my chat. Without incentive based contract, or without no, excuse me, I got off topic a little bit, but without having somebody to replace and fill the spot that's as good as the person that you lose, you're never going to get better. Now, I think one of the reasons Brad Holmes and Coach Campbell decided that they wanted to get him signed before the season starts is because you want to secure that piece of the puzzle that you already got, so that you don't need to go back next year and get it again, where you can go ahead and actually concentrate on increasing our defense better rather than needing to get a number one tight end. So why go ahead and get rid of him? Now, with that said, cut his ass. No, I'm joking. I am joking. I love to joke. But no, keep him, sign him, get him in that contract, secure him, show him you're wanted, that he's a lion, respect him, have the respect for him, and pay the man. Pay the man. Let people in Detroit know that if you do the work, you're going to get the rewards. Hey, Baby G. Gamer, how's it going? Yeah. But just let people know that if you're going to do the work, you're going to get the rewards. The rewards. Because, hey, if we're ever going to build to the amount of, if we're ever going to build to contenders, we gotta not only have the attitude, the winning attitude, we got to have the talent. And letting a talent go like T.J. Hawkinson would be just wrong, just wrong. Because hey, the jury's still out on a lot of people, but we know how TJ can do. We know what he can do, how he can be, and we know that he can produce, and we know that he's willing to go ahead and put his body on the line to win games. Now, one of the things in an interview that I seen earlier in the year, some of the things the Lions are going to try to reserve, especially with him, so he's around at the end of the year. Because if you get in that playoff contention spot, you want to have your best people there to go into the playoffs. Because one of the things all the Lions fans know is when they were contending and getting into the playoffs, the rare times that they have, they would go ahead, except for that one game in '91, they would go ahead and put all their mustard, all their backing to go ahead and get to the playoffs, and then they would a lot of times do a belly flop in the playoffs. Is this the same thing? Now, I'm not talking about the two games with Dallas, the one that they went ahead and beat the hell out of Dallas. I mean, back in '91, or also the team where that flag was thrown and then picked up, and it was a controversial win. I mean, they did show up then, and they did ball there, but there was times like when they played the Eagles way back, they would go ahead and get into the playoffs, and then they wouldn't take that extra step, go to that playoff zone. And that's what you need to do. So when you're entering the playoffs, you got to have your best people there. So hopefully they can win a lot of games. They can stay healthy. They, my deal is I would really love them. Number one, I want to see them win 10 or greater games this year. Number two, I want to see them make the playoffs. Number three, I want to see them win the NFC North. Though, and by keeping TJ Hawkinson there, along with the other offense that we got, and you think even having Jameson Williams at that later part of the season, and if he's fully healthy, fully fresh, and really got things down with Matthew Stafford. All right, not Matthew Stafford, damn it. Jared Goff. Oh, that was a big mess with Jared Goff. Shoot, just having that speed at the end of the year, and then having Amon-Ra St. Brown go ahead and being there, being able to catch the balls, and also good old T.J. Hawkinson. Then you get that that if that running game is going on, with DeAndre Swift, Netflix, Hulu, Jamar Williams, whoever we have, and with that offensive line being there, if we go ahead and we put in and shine at that very time, that very end of the day. Oh God, we got to see how they do this year before I can answer that question. Let me, yeah, Baby G Gamer, and make sure you sign up for his Twitch TV channel. Very cool guy, very cool dude. I would like to see that. I think they'll be closer to the Super Bowl next year, but to say they're actually going to win, we got to see how they do in the draft. It depends on what what they can key up in the draft, who they can pick up, and of course, you live and die on Jerry Goff's offense, Ben Johnson offense. Okay, here's another. What's your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys? Ugh, Dallas Cowboys. Besides being a pain in the ass fans. Okay, no. Uh, yeah, Dallas is a great team. Uh, I Zeke's if they can go ahead and get their running game back, and with Dak Prescott being the quarterback, I think Dallas is going to be a contender, and I really look at it being between them and the Eagles and winning the NFC East, because I don't see any other team in the East that's going to be so. Dallas is at that point where a lot of your veterans there, they're starting to get up there in year, but they're still in great shape, and if they're going to shine, and if they're going to do this, then this year is going to be, they got to do it this year. And shoot, of course, the atmosphere around Dallas, anybody knows how Jerry Jones is, how he's always wanting that Super Bowl. Sometimes he gets in his way, but if Jerry Jones lets the coaches run the team and stays the hell out of their way, Dallas can be explosive and they got a good defense too. I mean, you could see them make a play. I mean, hey, they lost in the playoffs early last year, but you could really see. All right, the Ravens. I think they got a ways to go. I don't really see them. I mean, they should be better than last year, but last year's record doesn't even. Yeah, I don't see Baltimore. I mean, shoot, it took them last year a miracle field goal to go ahead, and yes, it was a miracle field goal, right? And of course, it shouldn't even been a field goal because the clock ran out. Unfortunately, the refs didn't see it, but it took them a miracle field goal to go ahead and beat the Lions last year, by a couple points. Otherwise, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have really, but they would have lost. Now, granted, I would love to see them lost because that would have been one more star in our one more win in our record. But would we have gotten Hoockson? Or would we have gotten oh god, Aiden Hutchins? But I think they can kind of somewhat, they're kind of mid-range. That's what I think right now about the Ravens. Of course, I do got to study up more on them. Undercover, okay. All right. Now, what do you think about the Ravens? Let me put that back to you. And what do you think about the Packers without Devontae Adams, baby G? I mean, you still got Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if I want to answer that one. Uh, you know me, I am by far a Packer hater. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. I mean, hey, I think okay, Packers. you gotta give them credit because they have 2 years in a row. They went uh, 13 wins, 3 losses. Most of the years, they have won the NFC North. Most of the years, maybe not every year. I remember there was a few years back where Chicago actually won it. Where but the NFC North, they have dominated. And here's what I think about the Packers: it's time we knock the Packers off their pedestal. I mean, they always in saying that, I do gotta say the Packers do find ways of winning. All right, the Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, definitely. But hey, his top receiver's gone, so who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen now? But I do think he knows how to. I mean, hey, I want, I want to see the Lions beat the Packers when Aaron Rodgers is still there. That's what I want to see. I don't want to win by default of not having Aaron Rodgers. And I also want to beat the Packers in a fair way. I don't want to win like they win with cheap shots. I want to beat the Packers without the refs' help. All right, but I don't want the refs helping the Packers either. And one of the worst things that one of the worst statements where I ever heard from Aaron Rodgers was that a couple years ago was where, due to four bad calls, not one bad call, but four bad calls, the Packers ended up beating the Lions by 1 point in Monday Night Football. And two of those bad calls were the exact same bad calls that allowed them to go ahead and get the artificial win. And that's what I'm going to call it, the artificial win, because it is in the win book on Monday Night Football, because the refs said, here's your trophy, and Rodgers, and pat him on the head. That's what I think about the Packers on that win. And as far as if you look at some of the history, hey, we have been one of the teams that have given the Packers some trouble. And also, Baby G, feel free to post your link in here if you want people to, if you want people to go ahead and subscribe to your Twitch channel. And I know you also have a YouTube channel. Feel free. I don't mind. But thank you for being with us. And I know I'm hoping that Lions run roughshod all over the NFC North. And I'm hoping that when we get Jameson Williams back, because he's going to be gone for a while because he's not exactly healthy yet. But when we see him, and if his first game is against the Cowboys with the Lions, I'm hoping that his speed just goes ahead and lights up those Cowboys. And of course, I want him to light up the Packers too. Okay. So, Baby G, how do you think the Razorbacks are going to do this year? Well, just 2 more weeks. And actually, really, like a week and a half. That's when the Lions are going to start their training camp, and we're going to see exactly what well, get a glimpse of what they're going to look like because you're not going to have a lot of hard hitting. But I can't wait, and I really, really need to get down there for a couple times for a couple games because I want to see those. I want to see the Lions. I I definitely want to see them beat the Packers 2 times this year. Gonna be hard, but they can do it. They done it before, and last year they split it. They split between the Packers. Now, I was talking to one of a friend at work. His name is Brian, and I had asked him, and I was hoping he would give me a Lions greatest comeback, a Detroit Lions greatest comeback, which there are some. Unfortunately, one of the greatest comebacks that the Lions did have is when they went ahead and was losing so much to Minnesota at Minnesota, and they came back and they put in a jumbo package, which allowed Barry Sanders to go ahead and open up. They opened up holes for Barry Sanders, and he went ahead and was able to lead them to a victory against Minnesota. And this was way back when but one of Brian's when he told me the greatest comeback, and I give credit to people that do good things and do great things, and it was, I mean, it was kind of like maybe the hand of God with guiding the football because, and no, Aaron Rodgers is no God. I'm not even saying that, but when he a few years back in overtime, the Detroit Lions had it won, and and Ryan said, and I actually didn't see that game because I think I was working or something, but there was a face mask penalty, and it did look like he did. Me and Jim had seen some previews or some clips, and it did look like he brushed his face mask, but I guess in real time it didn't look like it, according to what Jim had said back when. But he threw that Hail Mary pass and got a god awful touchdown to beat the Lions in overtime. Some of those things just happen. Some of those things you can't help. Just like that 60-yard field goal I think it was 66-yard field goal by the Baltimore Ravens kicker. A record-setting field goal. Somehow, magically, it goes through. It bounced. I mean, it bounced because if it wouldn't have been for that damn bouncing, because you never know where that bounce is going to be, and it bounced right up that mid bar into the upright, right through there, and it's like, what the F? What the F? Yeah, I'm trying to keep it PG, so I won't say, but everybody else can fill in the blanks. I do think that the Lions have a great chance of making the playoffs this year. Facebook views. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't. If you're on Facebook, go to my page. I might be able to see him, but I cannot see any I cannot see any questions from Facebook, sadly. So, all right. Well, the key players of the offenses, of course. Um, yeah, now, I'm hoping that the Lions, what one of the things Detroit needs to do, though, is they do need to get a better backup quarterback because David Blau and Tim, they're not going to do good. So our fate rests on the arm of Jared Goff, of his passing ability. So if he ever gets hurt, man, we're gonna get screwed because Tim Boyle and David Blau, they're not the answer, and they're never going to be able to really do anything. I mean, Tim Boyle has a good arm, but his accuracy is bad. So I know in the earlier mini camps, he looked horrid. You know, and also to address the bringing in some of these other quarterbacks, like I mean, I know we're not going to get Baker Mayfield, but hey, Baker Mayfield was still going to be a question mark. Now, one thing I did like about Baker Mayfield, though, is if we could have got a deal like that when we picked up Goff, Baker Mayfield did have salary cap friendly numbers where, the I don't know how the Browns ended up doing it, but the Browns took some of his contract. Baker Mayfield went ahead and ate like 3.5 million or something like that of his contract. They did make it where he could get it back incentively later, but who knows? Who knows if he will? You know what? If next year the Detroit Lions can go ahead and make it to the Super Bowl, Maniac Tim's going to dye his hair blue. If they can make it to the Super Bowl, not this year but next year, I'm going to dye my hair blue. You heard it here. I'll dye my hair blue, but I'm not going to dye my eyebrow blue. Just my hair. All right. Well, I am running out of things to say. This was kind of like a quick thing after work. I want to thank you, my subscribers. I want to thank Baby G for his comments. I want to say hey, and I'll talk to you on the phone later on. But hey, it was great having you on here. Hopefully, sometime we can go ahead and I can actually bring you to the show. We'll get you. We'll do a show on a different platform. Meaning you just about your gaming. Maybe just because I can do that and kind of introduce you to some people too. It'll be great. But as of right now, my final thoughts is, hey, let's go ahead and hopefully we can have fun times in football. The Detroit Lions are building the right way. We still got to be patient. We got to look at the process. I mean, yeah, I'm expecting, and my expectations are high. And a lot of people may be saying, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because and I'm expecting those 10 wins or more, making the playoffs this year. I'm expecting that. But don't go ahead and if they don't, throw them under the bus. Remember, you gotta work the process. Now, if next year things ain't changed, that's when you really gotta look at what's going on. Because one of the things that the Detroit Lions have did over and over and over again is they have got the shiny pieces. They have tried to put something together, maybe even with steam. They have tried to do some things, but it didn't work. So don't be a fair weather fan, is what I'm saying. I mean, I know I'm not, obviously, and I invite all you bandwagon jumpers because hey, once the Lions actually achieve and make the playoffs and can go ahead and be looked at as a good team, there's going to be a lot of bandwagon jumpers that's going to be supporting this team because there's a lot of closet Lions fans. Okay, there's a lot of Detroit Lions fans that went ahead and went to other teams because of the way they produce in years past, the lack of production. But just think, when this thing starts coming together, not only the Lions faithful fans are going to go ahead and celebrate, but you're going to have a lot more people. And what I'm hoping is that what we're seeing now is a new era in the Lions. And I'm hoping that they're going to be able to be good for years to come. But with that, I'm saying one pride. Go Lions. Let's win the Super Bowl. And hey, in the next 3 years, that would be great to win the Super Bowl in the next 3 years. That's what a lot of people, like those of Dion, is saying. In 3 years, we could win the Super Bowl if we keep building the way we're building. If we can contend, and I'm not trying to put, I mean, I've seen some of his writings, stuff like that. Oh yeah, I also want to put in a plug in. Make sure sign up for in Twitch, Baby G Gamer. Make sure you follow him. If you're a gamer, go ahead and watch him. I also want to put in a plug for Lions Nation Unite. Go ahead and get that app. Follow all the people on there. They're great people. And of course, one of the shows that are on there is one that I co-founded with my friend Jim. Detroit Lions on the Prowl is now being ran by Kurt Steele as well as Val. They are, Kurt Steele is doing a great job. One of my shows that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a show on the rise of Detroit Lions on the Prowl, how they came from what we started, what Jim and I started, and then involved into the show that they are now. That's going to be in the future. I got to talk with Kurt. This might be a show that's after we get the preseason out of the way, after we get the training camp out of the way. But I want to try to get talk to Coach Mike Jones that is on there in the LL Torrance because they are the host of Show for Lions on the Pro, and I'd like to interview them and also interview some of the other people uh, that are on Lions Nation Unite, like Micro Mike, um, Luke G, uh, Field Re- Field Review. Make sure you check out his channel, um, and also 231 JAMO, I think it is. Eventually, I'll start posting some of these links in my channel as I know more. I also want to build a team of people who want to go ahead and actually be on. Um, I want you guys to have your own YouTube channels, but I also want to build a team of people that wants to kind of do like a roundtable thing too. It's going to be called the Maniac Squad. You don't need to be outrageous or anything like that to be on it, but it does help. But just love your team, and it doesn't need to be just all Lions. So, but I want to, and what we'll do is once we get this thing set up, and it might be a third shift thing. Most of the people I know are not third shifters or are not up at this time, so that might be kind of hard. But I want to actually give something with quality to people who are third shifters and who are up at this time. But once again, go ahead, like this channel, subscribe to this channel, tell your friends about this channel. If you want to be a guest on my show, all you have to do is be a fan. You don't need to be an athlete. You, but I'm not excluding athletes, amateur, and professional athletes are both allowed. Semi-pro, anybody. And if you guys just want to go ahead and be interviewed, because this channel, I want more people. I want to interview people about your fat, about being fat. And actually, probably going to be eventually opening up another YouTube channel that's going to be about gaming. Because I do know a lot of gamers in the community. And I'm hoping to I might be going to TwitchCon. That's one of the things that I've been talking about. Of course, there's a few things we gotta work out yet. But all right. With that being said, one pride, go Lions. Everybody be safe. This is Maniac Tim signing off. And last but not least, what brings out the maniac in you? Leave those in the comments. Sorry, most of you Facebook users, I cannot hear your comments. I would appreciate if you are watching me on Facebook, look me up on my YouTube. That way I'll be able to see your comments, highlight them. Man, I'm rattling on. So have a good day. It is time for me to get out of here. One pride, go Lions. Detroit Lions on the prowl. Maniac Sports. Oh yeah, and this has been brought to you by Tim Becker Productions. All right. Goodbye.